let's jump right into this explainer because, honestly, we don't have time for the usual introductions today. We've got a high-stakes search and rescue mission on our hands. The mission? We literally need to track down this super sneaky, very furry feline who's decided to play a massive game of hide-and-seek with us. So, are you ready? Let's go find that cat.
Looking for my furry cat. Seriously, where could this little rascal be hiding? I mean, he looks pretty innocent sitting right there next to the basket, doesn't he? But do not let that fool you. This furry cat is an absolute master of disguise and a total champion at moving around our bright cartoon world. So we're going to need to use some very special directional words to figure out exactly where he's bounced off to.
Okay, let's dive into this. On one side, our friend here is searching around his bright green backpack. Is the cat in there? Nope, he's actually looking outside the bag. Meanwhile, if you look over, he's crawling way down low, lifting up that pink blanket, which means he's looking under the bed. Do you notice the difference there? Outside means we're checking the exterior of something, the surface, but under means we are looking entirely beneath it. These spatial words, they're literally our secret map to finding our furry friend.
So, let me ask you directly. If you were a fluffy white cat, where would you go? Are you hiding inside the backpack, all curled up with the notebooks? Or are you hanging out outside the red rack, maybe just chilling on the floor? When we say inside, we mean completely enclosed within something. But when we say outside, we mean you're out in the open. So keep those eyes peeled.
Aha! Look at that. The cat is jumping right up at the window. We found him. But wait, hold on. There is actually so much more going on here with our spatial words. Check out the cow munching on the grass. That cow is completely outside the house. And then over on the left, you've got a guy taking a peaceful snooze. He's resting right under the shade of that big green tree. That is outside and under in action, right in front of us.
Let's pause for a quick interactive question just for you. Think about your own daily routine for a second, like in your own room at home. When you take off your shoes after a super long day of playing or learning, where do you put them? Do you just leave them outside the room, maybe kicking them on the porch? Or do you bring them
Inside! Exactly! You put them inside the room, or maybe even tucked away inside a closet. See, you're already a total master of spatial words without even realizing it.
Okay, let's try one more quick scenario just to really lock this concept into your brain. When you have a crumpled up piece of paper or maybe an empty juice box, where do you throw that garbage? Do you just toss it outside the bin, right onto the floor? Well, I certainly hope not. You put it
inside the dustbin. Boom! See, our spatial words like inside and outside aren't just for tracking down sneaky furry cats. They apply everywhere, every single day, to keep our world organized and clean. And you know, speaking of keeping things clean and organized, let's step right into this incredibly colorful toy world. We're going to shift our mission here from finding things to sorting things. Because think about it, once you find all your toys, you actually have to know how to group them all together. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is just the utter chaos. I mean, we have a messy, crazy pile of buttons, different colors, different shapes, different sizes. They're literally everywhere. If someone asked you to clean this up, where would you even begin? It looks super overwhelming, but really, it's just a giant puzzle waiting to be solved using sorting. To tackle this mess, we need a solid plan. So our friend Suwali decides to create organized groups based on just one rule: color. She's setting up Group 1 strictly for blue buttons, Group 2 for red buttons, and Group 3 for green buttons. By picking just one rule, color, she makes the whole sorting process totally manageable.
And this brilliantly illustrates the result. Look at Suwali. She is beaming with pride because she has successfully sorted that chaotic pile of buttons into 3 neat, tidy, color-coordinated groups. The blue, the red, and the green are all perfectly separated. She took utter chaos and turned it into perfect order, just by applying one simple sorting rule. But here is a quick challenge for you. Suwali sorted by color, right? But how else could she have sorted that exact same pile? Well, she could have sorted them by shape, putting all the square buttons in one pile and the circle buttons in another. Or she could have sorted them by size, big buttons versus small buttons. She could even sort them by the number of holes, 2 holes versus 4 holes. Sorting is really just all about choosing a characteristic and grouping the things that match.
Okay, let's leave the toy room behind for a second and head over to this grand, colorful train track. We are going on a journey. Our train is chugging along, singing, "Here goes our train, no one is before me." And this actually introduces two brand new, absolutely crucial spatial words, before and after.
So the crucial point here is how these cars, or bogies, are lined up on the tracks. We start with the engine leading the way, right? Then we have the blue bogies, followed by a bright red bogie, and finally, the orange bogies pulling up the rear. To really understand before and after, we just need to pick a reference point. So let's pick that bright red bogie right in the middle. Actually, before we do that, I want to challenge you to use your counting skills along with your new vocabulary. The engine is up at the very front. How many bogies are there after the engine? Go ahead, count them real quick in your head. Remember, anything trailing behind the engine comes after it.
All right, returning to our red bogie, if we check out the blue bogies, they are rolling along the tracks before the red one. They arrive first. But the orange bogies, they're trailing behind. They come after the red one. Before means in front of or earlier in the line. After means behind or later in the line. See? It's all about the sequence.
Let's move to the finish line and see how this all builds up. Look at that light bulb going off. That shows you did it. In just a few minutes, we have completely mastered finding things using inside, outside, and under. We've learned how to tame total chaos by sorting objects by color, shape, and size. And we've figured out how to sequence a train using before and after. Honestly, that is a massive level up in spatial awareness. So I'm going to leave you with one final mission to bring all these concepts right into the real world. Right now, I want you to scan the room you're sitting in. Can you spot something above you, like a light or a fan? How about something below you, like a rug or the floorboards? And most importantly, can you find a messy pile of things that you can sort right now? Go turn your own chaos into order. Thanks so much for joining this explainer, and hey, happy sorting!